Alright, today we're going to be talking about coilovers. Not using the tripod today, so it might be a little bit of a shake cam, so I apologize in advance. But I did get the coilovers on, and I put it to a safe height, which is what I would classify as a safe height. I'll show you that in the video too. But yeah, today we're going to be talking coilovers for the Grand Prix. I got the Maxpeedingrods from eBay, eBay specials, and paid $220 for them. Minor modifications to them and all that, but well, let's get into the video.
Go off when I enter the building.
Alright guys, these are the coilovers for the Grand Prix. There's the front one right there. All I got is the front strut mount right now, so I'm just going to work on the front. That's all the way extended safely. Not a fan of them saying use your factory strut mounts. They don't really work all that well. I'm going to see how this works out. I might change it. I don't know. So, quick rundown of what I did. I'm not using the tripod, so it's be kind of shaky. I apologize. So right here, right down here, I put the thrust washers I got from Summit Racing. And then you can see here, this is where the strut's at. I think it'll be okay. But as you can tell, like right here, I don't know if you can see it or not, right here, I mean, that's basically just the strut and kind of inside the spring. It's not really all that inside the spring, not the best, but see if I can zoom it out a little bit. There we go. It does steer just fine. There's no binding, so it seems to be pretty good. You can tell the spring is spinning on the thrust bearing, so not going to get into too depth on how to install. It's pretty much the same as installing a strut. So I'm just going to jack the car up, put it in, take some, put the stock one next to this one, see what it does, and see what goes from there. But these are the rear ones over here, all the way extended safely. I don't have the mount, so I can't tell how good this is going to be, but I did remove the plate that came on the front one here. It just made it next to impossible to actually put the strut on there correctly. And I also adjusted the preload. I did the till it got tight, then fit the coilover wrench inside here, then tighten it down. So it's all tight. Everything's tightened down. So we'll see what happens and go from there. Alright, here's a comparison of the stock strut and the aftermarket coilover. Considerable amount shorter. Here's a shot of it in. One side's done. Just gotta put the other side in. It's super short, so we'll see how low it actually goes. I'm looking at probably having to put an extension, the one I was talking about, on there. One up top actually. So we'll see what happens when I lower this down and go from there. Alright, well there's my stock struts. As you can tell, they are going in the garbage. They're probably factory original from when the car was first built. I got the front done, not the back yet, but here it is. Yeah, it's a little bit lower. Don't know how well you can see, it's kind of getting dark out. I want to get something filmed, put it all together, but yeah, it's pretty low. I haven't drove it yet because obviously the back's not done, but it's definitely sitting pretty low. The front. I'll get a better video of it when it's all done, but that's the front, and that's pretty much on max up setting. So yeah, these are definitely for getting low. I don't know how it rides. It probably rides like a brick, but I don't know yet. I set the preload for what I thought would be right. We'll see. I might have to adjust that too, but well, on to the back now. Alright guys, well here's the stock struts. I totally forgot to compare the two next to each other, so I'm just going to do this and show you. I mean, that's where it's sitting with it on. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's the sway bar, there's the stock collar. I haven't done anything else with it. Stock strut mount up there. Literally out of the box, these rears are exactly what they gave me. No different. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Not expecting too much, but you know, there's the rears, and then once I get the car on the ground, I'll show you what it looks like, if it's even drivable. I have no idea. So yeah, there's the complete stock sway bar end link on there. tightened up. Just gotta do the top hats on here, tighten them up, and put the wheels back on and drop it down on the ramps and see what happens. Alright guys, here it is. Low's really, really low in the back. Try and get it in here a little bit, but I mean, that's real fucking low. You gotta try and get it up a little bit maybe. I have to see, but I mean, I have a trailer hitch back here. I mean, it's real low to that trailer hitch. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's stupid low. Yeah, that's it. I'll take it for a test drive and see how it is, but I have to try and figure out a way to get it a little bit higher in the back. I'm probably going to be rubbing, but we'll see. Well, that does it. Here's the install of the Maxpeedingrods coilovers. They are not bolt-in, as I said. They are modification, a little bit of modification probably needed. I mean, that might be okay in the back. It's got a lot of camber in the back. I'm not a big fan of that camber. Might have to fix that, but the front didn't really camber too much. It's sitting real low. I like it. But like I said, I might take that collar down a little bit past where the threads are. Maybe, raise it up a little bit past where the threads are. See if maybe I get an inch out of that back, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not, so we'll see. Alright guys, here's my 2003 Grand Prix. The coilovers are on. Like I said, I put it to what I thought was a safe height. I'll try and get a video of what I mean by safe height underneath the car. But they're on. Previous videos, I have some other kind of install videos. As you can tell, the back is sitting, trying to focus it, sitting real low. It is lower in the back than it is in the front. What also doesn't help is the fenders are actually lower, like right here. It's lower than the front sits compared to the body line, but if you look at the side skirts, you can definitely tell they're a little bit lower in the back. So I'm going to try and adjust it a little bit, maybe lower the front a little bit, bring the back up, see what I can do. But that's the back and the front. That's where the front sits. But I'll try and get some video of where the threads are on the back to kind of show you where I thought would be a safe area for it. But I mean, yeah, it sits low. I drove it last night. A little bouncy, but you can adjust the preload on these as well, and might help that out a little bit. But I think the spring rate's a little bit high, but it's, you know, it's going to be a little bit higher. It's sitting lower, so it's supposed to kind of, you know, you don't want stock because that's just going to bottom out everything. So, well, I'll get the car up in the air and try and get you a video of the where I thought would be a safe height for these. Alright guys, I'm not sure if you can see or not, but this is what I classify as the safe amount. As you can see, the threads are just barely showing. Trying to figure out exactly where they are on the actual body, but that's about where I would say would be safe to have it. I'm going to try and go another inch or so depending on where it sits on the body. So that's where I have the back adjusted to, and the front's about the same when it comes to threads. So see where my finger's at. It's about where the threads end, right here. So probably go up another inch or so, give or take. And also, when you do this, loosen the collar. This part here, you have to disconnect your sway bar. And then there's actually a bolt back here. I don't know if you can see it or not, right there. You loosen that up, and this whole collar will spin just like the coilovers do. You can adjust where this sits, but that will help with height adjustment. The preload I did already to where I liked it. And yeah, we'll see if that helps out at all with the height on both sides. Okay, so I lifted about 3/4 of an inch. That helped out a little bit. It's not terrible. Still a little bit low in the back still. I might lower the front another 1/2 inch or so, just kind of even it out. But it is definitely better like that. 3/4 of an inch, probably the safest I felt going above those threads like that. Possibly could push an inch, but I didn't feel safe doing that, so I just went with 3/4 of an inch in the back. I think I have some room in the front still, so I might go take a look at that and see if I get that going. But yeah, that's about it for that. That's pretty much maxed out right there. Alright, so here it is. I can get the focus a little bit. That is a 3/4 inch raise. Can't really tell much. Side skirt's still a little low. It's about a 1/4 inch difference between front and back. I did measure it, so it's about a 1/4 inch sitting lower in the back, which I mean, it's okay with me. That's fine. It's not 100% noticeable. It does a little bit, but the front's dropped another 1/2 inch. So, but yeah, she's definitely sitting low. Don't look too terrible. I like it. So yeah, that's the install. They're on. No modifications. The only modification I did do is the front ones. I put thrust bearings for steering in it. But that's it. That was $60 at Summit. So $280 total. Which if you have normal coilovers, odds are you're gonna have to replace those thrust bearings at some point anyway. So unless you really take care of them, keep them clean, they're gonna get some crap in them and destroy themselves. So, but yeah, this is Maxpeeding coilovers on a 2003 Grand Prix. And this is basically a max setting for the back. So yes, they are really low. Alright, so that was my install of my coilovers on my Grand Prix. For those of you that are going to be like, oh, well, they're just, you know, just buy BC, buy Intense. Okay, here's the deal. You got $1,000 to shell out for coilovers, definitely go with those. Hands down, they're going to be better. Honestly, they're going to be better. But budget, $220 plus $60 for thrust bearings, so $280 for a set of coilovers. Oh, and you have to buy top strut mounts unless you reuse your original ones, but that's up to you. I bought new ones because mine had some miles on them, but I think I spent $10 for strut mounts for the rear, and I think I spent maybe $20 a piece for the front ones. You don't have to get nothing special for the front and rear. Just get the cheapest ones you can, because you're going to have to hack them up, modify them, you know, move them around. I didn't show modifying the strut mounts because, well, I don't want to be responsible for someone not doing it right and it screwing up their car. So if you don't have any knowledge of suspensions or modifications or fabricating, I would not do this. Have a friend there with you to help that knows it. But I mean, sits pretty good. I like it. And like I said, I'm just going to test them out, drive them a while, see what happens, see what breaks, see what blows out, what I don't like. That's pretty much it. It sits good. It's not my daily, so I'm not going to be driving it all over. So would I recommend this for a daily driver? Probably not. I mean, you have to have some sort of knowledge, so if you know something's going to go wrong, you can pull over. But they look good. I mean, I like them. I like sitting low, so haven't tested any handling with them yet. We'll get to that when I drive them a little bit more, see how they do. Like I said, last night I went out and got some beer. You know, I ran out of beer, needed some beer after working on this thing. It was a little bouncy, I will give it that, but it wasn't like riding on a brick, so it wasn't terrible. It was still comfortable to drive. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Any questions or anything like that, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. If you're just going to hate on the cheap coilovers, literally, I have said since the beginning, my Facebook, everything, I just bought these to see how they were. $220. Some people don't have the money to buy $1,000 coilovers, and they just want to look low. This is it. This is how they look on the car. You can customize them to make them work. I know someone, I forget his name, on Facebook actually did make a new sleeve for the bottom. The other thing I have an idea of is possibly making a top plate for you know, up above where the thing mounts. You probably add a few inches to that, some plate steel and some you know, some sort of spacer in there to kind of lift it up, and just put new bolts in it and run it like that. You probably get a few inches out of the back. But other than that, I mean, I'm gonna run it like this, see what happens, and then if I do modify them or do anything different, I'll get back to you guys. So just keep working on your cars. Don't let the automotive world die, and see you guys next time.
Alarms go off when I enter the building.